Right, okay, so let us deal with errors that can be found by the trial balance. Alright, let me see if I can change this pen. Let's try this one. Okay, oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's do a quick situation. Let's have a few transactions very quickly, and let's build a trial balance, like with just 3 or 4 transactions. Let's start a business with £1,000. So that's capital. That's bank. 1,000. Bank. 1,000. Then let's buy some goods, purchases for 5,000 on credit. Trade payables, 5,000. Let's pay some rent for 500 out of the bank, 500. And let's pay some electricity as well for 1,000. But let's forget to put it in here. For some weird reason, you just forgot, or it just didn't happen. You just did not record it in the electricity account. Even with me just saying this, you can see straight away that my balance sheet, my trial balance will not balance, right? I mean, my balance carried down here, and I think this is a skill that you'll start to pick up as we go. You can almost start to see your trial balance without doing very much work. Let's look at capital. Well, there's debit and credit. So with my capital, I'm going to say, well, balance brought down balance carried down is 1,000. Yes, I'm going to, do that and do that, and my carried down is going to be 1,000. So it's a credit 1,000. My purchases is going to balance carried down 5,000, balance brought down. So my purchases is going to be 5,000. Oh, ouch! I have no space. I'm always need more space. It doesn't matter. So let me do it over here. So because then let's do it over here. So that's this debit, credit. So capital is 1,000. Purchases is 5,000. Trade payables is 5,000. Rent is 500, and bank is what do we have here? It's interesting. Bank is actually 500 overdrawn, isn't it? Because here you have 1,500 and you have 1,000 here, so your balance carried down is 500. When you add, that's your carried down, and when that carried down comes, it's going to come down to this side, 500. So you actually have 500 here. When you add these up, what you're going to get is you're going to get here. You're going to get we're missing something. Let's see. Capital. Let's just make sure we have everything in there. Capital is 1,000. Purchases is 5,000. Trade payables is 500. Bank is electricity. Yes, here we are. So this is 6,500 and this is 5,500. So there's a difference. This is 6,500 if you add everything, and that's 5,500. There's a difference of 1,000. I mean, common sense would tell you that it's electricity, right? If we had got electricity right, we would have had 1,000 in here, electricity here, and 1,000 here, and this would have been 6,500. So first of all, the trial balance can find differences, right? If, for example, someone has forgotten to put a debit in here, but has put the credit okay. If they had totally forgotten to put the entire entry, it would have been an error of omission. But no, we've comfortably put the electricity in the bank, in the cash book, if you like, but it's not showing. Yes, we've totally forgotten to put it in there, in the electricity account. Yes, so the trial balance can find this type of error. The question is, in the data, imagine you had 1,000 of these transactions. The common sense thing is to go back and look for it. But what if you didn't have time to look for it? So, but we need to move on and prepare the set of accounts, because we prepare accounts based on the trial balance. what we do is to create something called a suspense account and put the 1,000 in there. It must be on this side because this is the smaller side, so that this now balances. So you see what we have here is a debit balance on the suspense account. We have a new account called suspense account. We had to put in 1,000 so this could balance. We will go back and look for it later on, but in the meantime, we know that a suspense account arises because there is a difference between two accounts. Either we've forgotten to put in here, or we could have put the 1,000 in, but we might have put the 1,000 here, which means we've put two credits instead of a debit and a credit. So we have a range of very interesting reasons. So let's actually fix this first, and then we'll come back to look at the reasons. So what we have here is we had this trial balance where we had a suspense account with £1,000 here, didn't we? And that's what happened basically. Yes, from your trial balance. Just go back again and you can see it. Your trial balance said you have a debit balance of 1,000. Well, we go back and we find out, oh my God, we forgot to put in electricity. Step 1, fix the problem. What is the problem? Well, we have an electricity account that we forgot to fix. So we need to put in 1,000 here to fix it. And by fixing it, because we've debited electricity with 1,000, we need to credit. Yes, because every debit requires a corresponding credit. 1,000 here and 1,000 here. Our suspense account is now 0, and we've fixed the problem. The key point is fixing the problem. Always fix the problem. That's what it is. Right. And that's it, really. You just need to sort of be logical about it. You always need to fix the problem. I say that. The key point is find the account that has the problem and fix the problem. Okay. Now, I'm going to go to your textbook to do an exercise. So what I need you to do is I need you to open your textbook. Make sure you have your textbook with you. I'm going to go to, because I can't write out the whole thing, 10.5 on page 166. I'm going to be talking about it. But I need you to have your textbook open to actually know what I'm talking about. So go to page 166 of your textbook, 10.5, just to make sure we're on the same page. They tell you here, you can pause this until you get there. So they tell you that you have a situation where you have a certain character called Jeremy Johnson. He's done his trial balance, and his trial balance doesn't balance, and this is the difference. And they tell you £19 debit. So if it's a £19 debit, it means he must have had a trial balance that looked like this. He had some things, he had some things, he had some things, he had some things. And for example, he would have here 500 here, and here he somehow had 481. So it was like, what are we going to do? Well, what we need to do is we need to put in 19 here in a suspense account. So that's a £19. These are all debits, right? And these are all credits. So he's put a £19 in a suspense account just to fix this. So this becomes 500, right? He's just added, you include a suspense account, to make everything balance. So everything balances right now. So we know that we can carry on and we can go and look for the problem. So what do we have? We have a suspense account right now of 19. The question is, let's fix the problem. So let's look at number 1. Number 1 says that a check payment of 85 has been entered in the cash book. But the key point here is, I mentioned earlier on that many people use their cash book as their bank account in their general ledger. So we're fine. We know that in the bank, 85 is fine. There's no problem. But what he's telling us is that the office expense, it tells you there in number 1, that no entry has been made in the office expense. Nothing's here. So what do we do? Like I said earlier on, fix the problem. Open up the office expense, put the 85 in, and therefore credit the suspense account. If the office expense had been the only problem, the difference, the suspense account would have been 85 debit. But there are other issues, which is why this number is a bit, 19. And we'll see that as we go along. So you fix that problem. Open the office expense. What's the next problem? It tells you that a payment of 87 correctly entered in the bank, 87, but somehow I don't know what's wrong with this person. The person is showing it as 78. So of course there's a difference. So what do? Well, top it up, get it complete. So what do? Well, we need to, for this photocopy machine thing to be correct, we need to add an extra 9, don't we, to bring this back to normal? Well, if you're adding an extra 9 here, well, if you're debiting the photocopy, you must credit the suspense account. Then it tells you that sales returns daybook, has been overcast by 100 pounds. And really, what this question is slightly unfair because of the way it's really written. Really, what they should really be telling you is the sales returns account, yes, has been overcast by 100. So so for example, you have, the sales returns account, you're happy, is on this side, of course, because it's the opposite of sales. So say for example it's 500, it's showing as 600. So in order to bring it down, so for example, the key point is that it's too high. So in order to bring it down, you need to credit the sales returns account by 100, and of course, therefore, debit the suspense account. Yes, this was happening with the sales returns account. And finally, they tell you that the commission received account, the commission received account, where are we? Here we are. Let's have a commission received. Yes, commission received any amount of money. These are all income, sources of income. Basically, so this has been entered twice in the account. You have 25 here, and you have 25 here. Someone's done it twice. Really, no, they should only have done it once. It's debit bank, credit commission. You've received some monies like debit bank, credit sales. So what you need to do is we need to reduce this. We shouldn't have 2, we should only have 1. So we put 25 here. 25 here and 25 here. And when you now add all these together, you will have 119. There's no balance carried down. That's your aim. You don't want a balance carried down with your suspense account. Well, you want to clear out your suspense account. You want your account to be balance brought down 0. That's your plan. That's your aim. Yes. So this is an example of what's happening with your suspense account. It occurs because we have differences on the debit side and the credit side for a range of reasons. You can see here the situation with the commission was you had entered it twice. In the situation with the bank, you had with the office expense, you forgot to enter one part of it. With the situation with the photocopy machine, you entered both numbers. You did enter it, but one set of numbers, one was right, one was wrong. So you need to fix that. In the sales returns account, you had overstated that, yes, by an additional 100. So that's what that's why you have these errors, and you can have them for a range of reasons. But the key point is that the debit and the credit do not agree. That's why there's a difference in the arithmetical, in the additioning of both sides. Really, we want both sides to be equal, but that's not the case. So, just keep working through the examples in chapter 10, and it's all a matter of practice. But the key differences are that the first lecture we listened to on errors are errors that the trial balance cannot find, the 6 of them, but these errors are errors that the trial balance can find. And how do we fix them? By creating a suspense account. Yes, and the suspense account is really the account that goes in to plug the gap, or plug the hole, until we start locating the problems and fixing them. And we always fix the problem first, and once we fix the problem, so if it's the account of the problem account, then you credit the suspense account. The other side always goes to the suspense account. Okay, and go back to look at the electricity. What happened with the electricity? You can see the logic to that. By me debiting electricity with £1,000, I credit the suspense account to get rid of the suspense account. That's why the logical thing is to always go back to the suspense account and attack that. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, see you in the next lecture.